مخالصة الطرار. Then he dodged us just as the pickpocket dodges, and وانصلت منا انصلات الفرار, and he slipped away from us just as the runner slips away. خالص يخالص مخالصة, اختلس يختلس اختلاسا, كمعنى to quickly take away something. So he dodged us and he slipped away like in salata. And tarrar yaturru, tarran literally means parna, chirna, to cut. So it's like pickpocket, cut purse, likha hai. He dodged us and he deceived us just as a person who picks pocket deceives, and he slipped away. In salata, tezi se bhagna. In silatal farrar, like the slipping away of, यहाँ लिखा है quicksilver. Farrar के माना तो भागने वाला, the one who runs and flees in rush. فأوحشنا فراقه وأدهشنا إن مراقه. So his separation put us into bewilderment, and his shooting off astonished us. अवहशा वहशत में डाल देना, घबराहट में डाल देना. फिराक जुदाई. अदहशा दहशत में डाल देना, to astonish. And in मिराक तेजी से निकल जाना. His shooting off astonished us. ولم نزل ننشده بكل ناد ونستخبره عنه كل مغو وهاد. We did not cease to seek him in every majlis, assembly, and ask news of him from each person, whether gumrah or hidayat yafta, whether the one who is astray or the one who is on the right track. Lam nazal nanshuruhu, nashada yanshudu, talash karna, to search. So we kept on searching for him and looking for him in every majlis, meaning we went down to the city of Ana and we went around looking for him in all majalis, and we asked regarding him every mughwi and hadi. Istakhbara, khabar malum karna, news puchna, and aghwa yughwi, to mislead people. Ghawa yaghwi ghawayatan, to be misleaded. To every mughwi, meaning fasadi and wrongdoers who have gone astray, like sharabi, kababi, druggi, and hadi, neck people who go to the masjid. We ask them as well, have you seen this guy in your masjid? Ila an qila, until it was said, innahu muddakhala ana ma sayal al-hana. Since he has entered the Ana town, he has not moved away from the tavern. Zayala, yuzayilu muzayalatan, separate hona, juda hona. He's not separated himself from the sharab khana, from the public house, from the tavern. فأغراني خبث هذا القول بسبكه والانسلاق فيما لست من سليكه. Then the foulness of this report set me out to test it and to walk in the path to which I did not belong. Aghra yugri ghra'an, to urge, bharkana, to set something forth. Khubsu hadal qawl, the foulness and khabasat of this qawl. Bisabkihi, sabaka yasbiku sabkan, to test, to check him out. So the foulness of this statement urged me and set me forth to test him out and to tread the path. In salaka, to take a path, to walk in the path of lays fima lastu min salikihi, from which I do not belong to. Salik and silk means that that string in which tasbih dana are strung. So usme I am not from that type of people, but I was forced to go in there. But this is not working. فَدَّلَجْتُ إِلَى الدَّسْكَرَةِ فِي أَيَّةٍ مُنَكَّرَةٍ. So I went by night to the wine hall in disguised appearance. इद्दलज यद्दलजु इद्दिलाजन के माना रातों रात चलना. So I went into the darkness of the night. إلى الدسكرة, daskara means sharab khana, the wine hall. في هيئة منكرة, in disguised appearance. Hayat, appearance, munakkara, and mutaghayyira, unrecognizable. He could not recognize me. So I changed my appearance and I went to the wine hall. فإذا الشيخ في حلة ممصرة بين دنان ومعصرة. Suddenly there was the old man in red colored dress, بين دنان ومعصرة, amid casks and wine. ممصرة, Misr is used for red color as well. حلة, Jora suit. So he was wearing a nice suit of red color. Dinan, plural of dannun, means matka, barrel. The barrels in which there is sharab. And mi'sara means wine vats, where wine is nichod kar nikala jata hai, you draw wine from. So he was between casks and wine vats. وحوله سقاط تبهر وشموع تزهر وآس وعبهر ومزمار ومزهر. And around him were cupbearers surpassing in beauty, shining, and lights that were glittered, and flowers of jasmine and myrtle, 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 and the pipe and the flute. حوله, around him. Suqatun, plural of saqi. Saqi means sharab pilane wala, those who pour wine. So cup bearers, tabhar, bahar yabharu baharan, ke maana chonka dena, to shock someone. तो आंखें चौंका देती हैं. If you stare at floodlight, then your eyes will be affected, glitter, by the glitter. That's called bahara. Baharat shu'a'u shamsi aynahu. The rays of the sun ने उसकी आंख को चौंका दिया. So around him were cupbearers who were extremely beautiful, surpassing in beauty. وشموع تزهر, and candles which were glittered, lights which were glittered. شموع, plural of شمع. شمع means mom, wax. तो wax के अंदर क्या होती है? Candle. तो candle lights which were glittered of various colors. And as وعبهر, as a type of flower, and abhar, jasmine. Mizmarun wa mizhar, and pipe and the flute. Mizmar, the pipe, and mizhar, flute. وهو تارة يستبزل الدنان وطورا يستنطق العيدان ودفعة يستنشق الريحان وأخرى يغازل الغزلان. And he at times bade broach the wine casks, and at another he called the flutes to give utterance, and now he inhaled the perfumes, and now he courted the gazelles. وهو تارة تارة means at times. يستبزل بزل يبزل بزلا की माना टपकना, to drip. Istabzala means tapakwana. And dinan means matke, the barrels. So at times he ordered that the wine casks be opened up and wine poured out. Watauran, at another time, he called the lutes to give utterance. Istantaka bulwana. Nataka yantiku natkan bolna. And Eidan, plural of oud, and over here oud means the flute and the pipe. And at times he gestured for the music to be turned on. Wadaf'atan, and now daf'atan, and sometimes yastanshiqur rayhan, he would inhale the perfumes. Nashaka yanshiqu nashkan sungna, istanshaka sungwana. Rayhan, flowers. Wa ukhra, and at other times he was playing with the gazelles. Ghazala, to play, and Ghizlan, plural of ghazal. Ghazal means gazelle. And over here by gazelle, the tashbih is given to the beautiful girls who were pouring the wine. So at times he was playing with the gazelles. فَلَمَّا عَثَرْتُ عَلَى لَبْسِهِ وَتَفَاوُتِ يَوْمِهِ مِنْ أَمْسِهِ. Then when I stumbled upon his garbar and hypocrisy, and the differing of his today from his yesterday. عثر يعثر عثورا, वाकिफ होना. लबस यलबिसु लबसन, गड़बड़ करना. तफावत यतफावतु तफावुतन, to be different. His today is different from yesterday. قلت له, I said to him, أولى لك يا ملعون أنسيت يوم جيرون. Woe unto you, O Mal'oon, accursed. Have you forgotten the day at Jayrun? Awla, awla laka fa awla, yani waylun laka. Woe unto you, O Mal'oon. Aunsita yawma Jayrun, ansa yunsi, to cause forget. Have you been caused to forget the day of Jayrun? What happened in Jayrun? He was sitting with the tasbih in his hand, and pat 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 tasbih gol gol gumara, bahut zikr kar raha tha. And he was wearing the libas of rahibs, monks. So you appear to be a monk with tasbih in your hand, and you will look like a Sufi buzrug. And what's happening now? فَضَحِكَ مُسْتَغْرِبًا ثُمَّ أَنْشَدَ مُطْرِبًا. So he laughed heartily, and then he recited poetry charmingly. Dahika हंसना, इस्तगरबा के माना मुंह भर भर कर जोर से हंसना. तो मुंह भर भर कर जोर से हंसा. He laughed loudly with full mouth. सब याद करें ना, जो बची तो मैं और के मैं आटलू याद करूँ तो याद नहीं करूँ. नहीं रो याद कर. But ثم أنشد مطربا, and then he read poetry झूम करके charmingly. لزمت السفار وجبت القفار وعفت النفار لأجل الفرح. I clung to journeying, I crossed the deserts, I loathed bad manners, so that I may acquire happiness and joy. Lazimtu sifar, lazima yalzamu luzuman, to cling on to something. Sifar, safar. Jubtul qifar, jaba yajubu, chakkar lagana, go round and travel. Qifar, plural of qafrun, empty place. Over here by empty place means deserts. And wa'iftu, afa ya'afu wa'ifan, to dislike, to hate. I loathed, I hated. Nifar, meaning bad akhlaqi. Nafara yanfiru nufuran ke maana nafrat karna, अच्छा ना लगना, पसंद ना करना. So bad manners which people don't like. So I liajnil farah, so that I may gain and acquire joy and happiness. Jana yazni janyan, phal todna, to pick ripe fruits. Farah khushi. وخذت السيول ورثت الخيول لجر ذيول الصبا والمرح. I plunged into floods, and I tamed horses, steeds, so that I may draw the tales of pleasure and delight. खुदतू खाद यखूदू खौदन के माना पानी में पाँव छलांग मारना, घुस जाना. सुयूल प्लूरल ऑफ सैलुन, flowing water, flood. वरूदतू राद यरूदू के माना ताबेदार करना, tame. खुयूल खैल घोड़ा. लेजर्री ज़ुयूल, जर्र यजुर्रू, to pull, to draw. ज़ुयूल plural of ज़ैल, which means tails. सिबा बचपना, बचपना खुशी का होता है. and मरह के माना इतराना, डिलाइट. तो वमित الوقار وبعت العقار لحسب العقار ورشف القدح. I threw away my steadiness and sold my land for the sipping of wine and the quaffing of cups. माता यमीतु मैतन के माना हटाना, to move, remove. वक़ार संजीदगी, steadiness. आकार बिअतु बआ यबीउ, to sell. आकार जायदाद, land. Any property that remains in its place, it doesn't move, is called aqar, land, property. لحسب العقار, I sold everything to sip wine. हसा यहसु हसवन, to sip. थोड़ा थोड़ा धीरे धीरे करके पीना. And उकार is one of the names for wine, بضم العين. And رشف القدح, रशफ के माना चूसना. रशफ यरशुफु रशफन के माना, याद कर गया ना कल सबक. रशफ यरशुफु रशफन के माना चूसना. कप में नीचे थोड़ा सा पानी दूध रह जाए करके उसको पीते हैं, उसको रशफ कहते हैं. तो रशफुल कदह, प्याले को चूसने के लिए. The quaffing of cups. ولولا الطماح إلى شرب راح لما كان باح فمي بالملح. Were it not for the longing after drinking of wine, my mouth would have not uttered those elegancies and beautiful, salty and tasty words. لولا الطماح, طمح يطمح طموحا के माना निगाह उठाकर देखना. तो अगर मेरी आंख न उठती, had my eyes not lifted themselves and had not been longing for shurbi rah, for drinking of wine. Rah is one of the names of khamr, sharab. They call it rah because it brings rahat and relaxation. Then if it was not for my longing for drinking wine, then my mouth would not have uttered those elegancies. Bah yabuhu ke mana zahir hona, and it comes with by harf jar, then it becomes mutaaddi, to zahir karna, to utter, to reveal. Bil mulah, plural of mulhatun, and mulhatun means namkeen kalam, salty words. Muradi beautiful words, elegancies. ولا كان ساق دهاء الرفاق لأرض العراق بحمل الصبح. And nor would have my craft lured the travelers to the land of Iraq through my carrying of rosaries, tasbih. Saqa yasuqu hankana. Daha ke mana makkari, craftiness. Al-rifaq, plural of rafiq, sati, caravan. لأرض العراق, to the land of Iraq. بحمل الصبح, حمل يحمل, utana, to carry. Subah, plural of subhatun, meaning tasbih. فلا تغضبا ولا تسخبا ولا تعتبا فعذري وضع. Now do not be angry, and do not scream, and do not chide, do not scold, because my excuse and reason is plain. فلا تغضبن, غضب يغضب غضبا, नुकसान करना, गुस्सा करना, गरीब यगदबु, और नून ताकीद सकीला. वला तस्खबन, सखीब यस्खबु सखबन, शोर मचाना, scream. And वला तातिबन, अतब यातिबु, इताब करना, सरजनिश करना, scold. My reason is plain. वला ताजबन लिशैख अबन बिमगनन अगन वदन तफह. And do not be surprised at an old man who has settled himself in a house which is well filled with wine casks that is brimming. لا تعجبا عجيب يعجب عجبا تعجب karna. لشيخ, do not be surprised at an old man. أبنى يبن إبنانا كمعنى أقام يقيم إقامة, to settle down. بمغنى, Maghnan means house, but a house which has lots of trees around surrounding it. Aghanna, which is Gunjan, a house which is filled with trees and fruits and flowers. And wadannin tafa, and filled with cask and barrels which are brimming full. Dannun dema dinan, and tafaha mean bharna, chalakna, when it's full and it comes out. فإن المدام تقوي العظام وتشفي السقام وتنفي الترح. For truly wine strengthens the bones and heals the sickness and drives away grief and sadness. Al-Mudam, another name for sharab and wine. تقوي العظام, قوى يقوي, strengthen bones. تشفي السقام, gives shifa and heals the sickness. Siqam, plural of suqmun, then it means bimari. But if it's plural of saqim, then it means the sick people. It heals sick people. And tanfi tarah, nafayan fi nafiyan, ke mana hata dena, nikal dena. And it removes tarah, tariha yatrahu tarahan, ke mana grief, sadness. وأصفى السرور إذا ما الوقور أمات سطور الحياة والطرح. And the most purest of joy is when the man of waqar and steadiness throws off the veils of modesty and flings them aside. Asfa, सफ़िय यस्फा सफ़ाअन के माना साफ सुथरा होना. तो सबसे साफ सुथरी खुशी तब है कि वक़ूर, साहिब वक़ार आदमी, the man with waqar, sanjidgi and steadiness. Amata yumitu imatatan, to removes sutur al-haya, the veils and curtains of modesty. Wattaraha, and throws them away. Amata, to remove, and attaraha, to throw away. وأحلى الغرام إذا المستهام أزال اكتتام الهوى وافتضح. And the sweetest of passion is when the love crazed ceases from concealing his love and shows it openly by disgracing himself. أحلى حلية يحلى حلاوة के माना मीठा होना. गराम, ishq. The most sweetest of ishq and passion is idal mustaham. Istahama ke maana to be crazily and madly, deeply in love with someone. So istahama ke maana al-ashiq al-mutahayyir fil ishq. When the love crazed, azala titam, azala yuzilu, to remove. He removes iktitam al-hawa, the concealing of his love. Iktatama, chupana. Hawa, kimana ishq and love. Waftadaha, or ruswa ho jaye. He doesn't care about being, ashamed, and he just openly declares his love. فبح بهواك وبرد حشاك فزند أساك به قد قدح. So, reveal your love and cool your heart, because the fire staff of your grief will rub a spark through it. Buh bi hawaka, baha yabuhu, bawhan means zahir hona, and when it comes with ba, it becomes mutaddi तो जाहिर कर दे हवा का तेरे इश्क को, reveal your ishq and your love. and बर्र युबर्रिदु तबरीदन, ठंडा करना, हशा के माना दिल, अपना दिल ठंडा कर दे, cool your heart. फजंदु असाका, because the uh, the fire staff of your grief. Zandun, asal mein, the stick with which fire was sparked. They used to have two sticks and they hit one stick on top of the other and it works like matches. So matches se fire nikalta hai. So they used to do these two sticks one on top of the other, hit it, strike it few times and sparks would come. So the stick, fire stick of your asa means afsos, sadness, gham, grief. The fire stick of your grief will rub spark through it, meaning bihi yani bil khamr. When you drink wine, then that is will bring the spark from out. qadaha yaqdahu ke mana to put, to usko lagana, marna, or spark nikalna. So it will, when you strike it, the spikes will be brought out with it. وداوي الكلوم وسل الهموم ببنت الكروم التي تقترح, and cure your wounds and draw out your worries by the daughter of grapes, which is acquired and taken out. Dawa yudavi mudawatan wa dawaan, ilaj karna. Kulum is plural of kalmun. Kalmun means zakham. तो अपने जख्म का इलाज कर. सल्लिल हुमूम, सल्ला युसल्ली तस्लियतन, to draw out, or salla saif, meaning he drew the sword from the sheath. So sallil humum, draw out your humum and afkar and your worries. Bebintil kurum, by the daughter of grapes. Kurum plural of karmun, and karam means grapes. Allati tuqtara, the daughter of grapes which is pulled out and extracted. Iqtaraha yaqtadihu, kemana to extract, to bring out, and which is to desire as well. وخص الغبوق بساق يسوق بلاء المشوق إذا ما طمع, and assign your evening by a cupbearer who will stir the torments of desire when she gazes. Khussa, khassa yakhussu, khassan means khas karna, distinguish, assign. Al-ghabuq, ghabaqa yaghbiqu ghabaqan, ke maana sham ko peena. There are two words, ghabuq and sabuh. Sabuh means subah ko peena and ghabuq means sham ko peena. To tere sham ke peene ko khas kar, and assign your evening drink. Bisaqin yasuq, with a cupbearer who drives away. Saqin is isme fa'il saqi, from saqa yasqi saqiyan siqa'an, pilana. To saqi, pilane wali. Yasuq, saqa yasuqu sawqan, ke maana to draw away, to pull, hankna, to drive away. Assign your evening drinking with a cupbearer who will drive away bala al mashuq, the torment of the desire, or torment of the one who is in ishq and madly in love. Bala means musibat, tragedy, and mashuq, shaq yashuqu shawqan, shawq rakhna. To mashuq, the one who has been busied in some shawq and ishq and love. إذا ما طمح, طمح يطمح طموحا means to gaze, to stare, to look. Meaning when she draws that drink and she gazes at you and you look at her, then your ishq is driven away and you're madly in love, and it pulls it out. So go to the pub, in the tavern, and drink and look at these gazelles and beautiful girls and take your ishq out. नाले कहीं का देखो बदमाश कहीं का, अबू ज़ैद सरूरी क्या कह रहा है. पब में भेज रहा है और क्या क्या बकवास कर रहा है. Because this is adab kitab, so we have to read it as a way of adab. चलो आगे वशादिन युशीत, इसको बाद में पढ़ना. शुरू से कर लो. बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम. हाँ, हारिस इब्न हम्माम says, so हाँ, ثم خالصنا مخالصة الطرار. Then he dodged us as the dodging of the pickpocket, and he slipped away from us as the slipping away of a runner. So his departure saddened us, and his shooting away astonished us. And we did not cease to seek him in every assembly and to ask his news from each person, whether he is Gumrah or he is naked, until it was said that since he has entered Ana town, he has not quitted the tavern. So the foulness of this statement report urged me to check him out and to walk in the path of which I did not belong. So I went by night to the public house, the wine hall, in a disguised appearance, and suddenly there was the old man in a red colored dress amid casks and wine vats, and around him were cupbearers surpassing in beauty, and lights that glittered, and myrtle and jasmine flowers, and pipe and the flute. And he was at one time um, bidding the casks to pour wine, and at other times he called on the flute to give utterance, and sometimes he inhaled the perfumes, and other times he played with the gazelles. When I stumbled upon his hypocrisy and the difference of his today from yesterday, I said to him, woe unto you, O accursed! Have you forgotten the day at Jairun? So he laughed loudly, and then he sang charmingly, Lazim to Sifar, I clung to traveling and journeying, and I crossed the deserts, and I loathed bad manners, that I may cull some joy and acquire some happiness. And I plunged into floods, and I tamed horses to draw the tales of pleasure and delight. I threw away steadiness for and I sold my land for the sipping of wine and for the quaffing of cups. And had it not been for the longing of drinking wine, my mouth would not have uttered its elegancies, nor would my craft have lured the travelers to the land of Iraq through my carrying the rosaries, tasbees. Now do not be angry, do not scream, do not scold, because my excuse is plain. And do not wonder, do not be surprised at the old man who has settled himself in a well-filled house by a wine cask which is brimming. Because truly wine strengthens the bones, heals the sick, and drives away grief. And the purest of joy is when the cool man removes and throws away the veils of modesty and flings them aside, throws them aside. And the most sweetest of ishq and love is when the love crazed ceases from concealing his love and lays himself bare and makes himself zaleel and ruswa. So, so express your ishq and cool your heart, because the fire staff of your grief will only rub spark with it, and heal your wounds, and draw away your worries by the daughter of the grapes, which is extracted and desired. Assign your evening with a cupbearer who will stir and drive away the musibat of the one who is involved in ishq when she gazes. चलो आगे बाद में पढ़ना वशाद इन युशीत बेसौत तमीद जिबारुल हदीद लहू इन सलाह कल विल ट्राई एंड फिनिश इट इंशाल्लाह चलो जाओ खुदाफिज